Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ernesto and you are watching Guerra Art World. On today's video, I want to do a little bit of a time lapse, maybe not so fast, and give you all a little bit of a tutorial on how I created this painting right here. I really like the style. I was inspired by an artist that I follow on YouTube. I'll leave her information in the description box below. Yeah, just sit back and enjoy, and hopefully this will inspire you all to create a little piece of your own. All right, and before I go, I just wanted to ask if you are new to the channel or not, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow and possibly reach more creative people out there as well. All right, well, thanks again and enjoy. Okay, here I am. I start with a black paint marker just to get the florals sketched out. And the great thing about doing florals is that, you know, you have a lot of flexibility and a lot of creative freedom to be able to just give your own interpretation of what florals look like to you. With nature, it's very easy to, you know, do your own style and do your own thing and make it look beautiful. All right, so here I am again, just sketching. I try to do different flowers and different leaves. Then I put some landscaping. Then the next step, I took some yellow paint and some bright orange paint, and I watered it down and then just painted over the entire thing, allowing the black lines to shine through. Then I took some dark blue paint and I just started sort of like a patchwork kind of method and started dashing in some paint. At this point, I did not water down the paint. I wanted a nice thick consistency, and like I said, it's sort of a dash kind of effect that you're going for, or technique I should say. Next, I grabbed some red paint and decided to paint the branches, the stems, I guess you can call them. Decided to paint those with the red and allowed some of the black lines, the outlines, to still show. But don't worry, after we're completely done with the painting, we're going to go ahead and outline the black lines again. Here I'm painting the leaves with a nice dark green. So basically what you want to do is start off with darker colors so that you can add highlights later. All right, I'm sorry I skipped forward a bit here, but I just painted the different sections of the background. The bottom, to make it look like grass, I added some darker greens and lighter greens, and then I wanted some pink in the middle just to represent some more florals in the background. And then the sky, I wanted it to look sun-kissed, so I added some yellows, some oranges. Now I'm going back over the flowers. Like I mentioned before, I end up doing some lighter colors over the dark blue areas. And also, you probably can't see it too well, but there's dark purple in there as well, which I will go over with some lighter purples as well, as I'm doing now. And just gives it more variation. You want to add, you want to add as many layers as possible just to give it more depth. And as you can see here, I'm going over the green leaves with a lighter contrasting color. basically white with a little bit of yellow. Also adding some highlights on the grass here, just to give the grassy area a little more variety and depth. Now I'm going over with an even lighter blue over the florals, just to give it more variation. And when you go over with the lighter tones, you want to make sure that you leave a little bit of the previous color showing. So you don't want to completely cover the lower layers. You want to allow each of the layers to shine through, and just leave little sections here and there with lighter and darker, and it just gives the painting more life, I feel. All right, as you can see, I added some pink up to the sky area. Once I did that, now I'm going over the entire painting with the black lines, just to bring it back to the original design. And this, I love the way it gives it a stained glass kind of effect. So I go over the whole thing again with the black outline, and it just kind of refines the painting and makes it look more cohesive and appealing, in my opinion. I mean, you could absolutely leave it without this step and it'll look good, but it's my preference to completely outline it. So yeah, this takes a little bit of patience, but I did want to mention that what you want to do is allow the layers of paint to dry before you go into these steps, just so you don't end up contaminating the other colors and making them look kind of muddy, because you're using black. Black has the tendency to contaminate the other colors if they mix. So I typically don't use the color black for that reason. Like, I don't like mixing black with other colors to create shadows. I prefer to use darker, saturated colors, because black, like I said, it has the tendency to kind of give it a muddy, dull effect if you're not careful. There are some ways of adding black to paint, but you have to be very strategic as far as the amount of black that you add and how you decide to use it. I usually like black just to create outlines and harsh contrast. All right, here I'm going back and I'm adding more layers. I added some yellows into the sky area just to tone down some of that pink I added. And then I added more yellows to the leaves. And as a final touch, what I decided to do was outline everything one last time with white paint. And I think the outlines in black, then the outlines in white, gives it a whole different vibe that I really enjoy, and I like this outcome. And after you're done with all of the outlines, you're pretty much done. At that point, you could always add more layers if you like to. As I continue to experiment with this style, I'm going to explore different florals and different leaves, maybe do some trees. And that's the great thing about art. It's you learn a different style, and once you learn the style, you can go into all kinds of different directions as far as what you want to create in that style. Maybe even some portraits. As some of you know, I really enjoy painting portraits, so I might end up doing a portrait in this style and see what it looks like. Yeah, I guess I would consider this to be sort of like an abstract style. And as I mentioned before, I really get a kick out of the fact that it kind of looks like stained glass. All right, well, thank you if you stuck around this far. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you sticking with me, and here's the final result. I hope y'all like it, and I hope you have a beautiful day.